It is an honor to be back with everyone. It is an honor to be here at City Hall. I'm proud to announce that Kansas City has once again received a perfect score on the Human Rights Campaign's Municipal Equality Index. That's for the third year in a row. The Municipal Equality Index scores how well cities support the LGBTQ plus population who live and work here. Cities are rated based on non-discrimination laws, the municipality as an employer, municipal services, law enforcement, and leadership on LGBTQ plus equality. Last year, our scorecards showed that we exceeded in areas including non-discrimination laws and leadership on LGBTQ equality. This year, we're continuing to excel in those areas, in addition to continuing to provide an inclusive workplace at City Hall, providing vital municipal services to the transgender community, and continuing to advocate for full equality citywide. As we continue to see issues facing our community, particularly discrimination and LGBTQ rights under assault, it is important for us to do our part and to make progress. Over the past year, we have made several improvements. Early this year, we held Kansas City's very first Transgender Day of Visibility in partnership with local nonprofit Transformations. There, we heard experiences from transgender community members and their ongoing concerns about the Missouri legislature and surrounding states' heinous anti-trans, anti-human bills, which would criminalize access to important and necessary gender-affirming health care. Leaders in the transgender community encouraged us to find ways to take a strong stand as a city, and the outcome of that meeting led us to make Kansas City a safe haven for those receiving gender-affirming health care. In May, I sponsored and we passed the vital Safe Haven resolution, and we will continue to ensure city personnel stop the enforcement of those hateful laws in every situation that they can. We also look forward to continuing our support from the Kansas City Police Department and the Jackson County Prosecutor's Office in ensuring no one faces criminal penalties for providing health care to members of our community. When the state banned gender-affirming care, they promised not to pursue criminal enforcement of Missouri's health care ban, and we will do what we can to hold them to that commitment. As a result, Kansas City is now an example for other cities around the country. Later today, we will host Kansas City's first Trans Day of Remembrance, honoring the memory of the transgender people whose lives were lost in acts of anti-trans violence. The Human Rights Campaign recognition shows our incredible work as we continue to keep our LGBTQ community safe, welcome, and respected. Kansas City is a city for everyone, and we have long valued diversity. Our city is a place for hope and opportunity. We're always growing and improving the quality of life for everyone who works for our city or calls Kansas City home. To our LGBTQ friends, Kansas City cares about you, and we strive to be a city where you can be your true, authentic selves. I'm proud we're being recognized for this hard work, and we'll note our work does not stop here. A few other things I note, and I'll get out of the way for our council members to speak. In this chamber some years ago, leaders at City Council, including some from the 4th District at large and elsewhere, stood up and was the first jurisdiction in this region to have a non-discrimination ordinance. That was hard to get to. That was a battle during the 1980s and the 1990s when many cities weren't taking that important step, certainly not cities in Missouri and Kansas. As the years have gone by, we have continued to lead. We lead not because we want to be out front. We lead not because we think it's important to be in the press about it. We lead because we care about everyone in our community. And time and again, we will continue to stand for everyone in our community. If you come from anywhere near us or far away, if you read the work that's done in the Missouri or Kansas legislature and you feel like you don't belong, know that you're always welcome, accepted, encouraged, and can thrive in Kansas City. And we will commit to that as long as our city exists. With that all said, I'll introduce the 4th District at Large Councilman, a partner in this important work, Crispin Rea.
Good morning. My name is Crispin Rea, and I represent the 4th District at Large. There are two things that I want to say this morning. The first is I want to extend my appreciation for those who have done this work to get us to this point. I want to thank the mayor, the city manager, our staff, members of the LGBTQ Commission, including our President, Justice Horn, as well as members of the previous council who've put in the work over the last couple of years to secure this important designation. The second point I want to make is that it is now incumbent upon this new council moving forward to continue to do the work to make sure that Kansas City remains an inclusive, safe, welcoming, and accommodating city for all, including the members of our LGBTQ Commission. I'm here today to say that I am ready to do that work, and I'm willing to do that work moving forward so that in 3 years and years beyond, we are continuing to have these press conferences and talk about how Kansas City is safe. I now want to introduce the chair of our LGBTQ Commission, Justice Horn.
Gonna let you talk. All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Justice Horn. I use he/him pronouns, and really want to echo everything that's been said. And just first, just stand in this moment. There are a lot of folks well before we were in positions of leadership, well before the commission was created, and well before we even had groups like Casey Proud, folks who were advocating, organizing, and really pushing city government to recognize them. It was brought up by the mayor that this city led and pushed for a non-discrimination ordinance. And, that was so vital when, at the time, the federal government and, city leadership was failing our LGBTQ community, especially when it came to the AIDS epidemic. And, folks from the Kansas City chapter, the ACT UP movement, really pushed us here and got us here. So, before we move forward, I just want to name the folks who don't get recognized, that don't get to be here. And, last year we did this on December 1st during World AIDS Day. A lot of folks who were in the activist movement, tragically died of AIDS and pushed their city electeds and their city government to recognize them, to show up for them, and just frankly to even care about them. So I really want to name the greats, our elders, and those who came before us, who really got us here, who allowed us to live in a city that is so forward-thinking and so welcoming. We are now, it's the third consecutive year of the city getting a perfect 100 from the Municipal Equality Index for the Human Rights Campaign, and this is a very big feat. You have other cities across the state of Missouri who are still struggling to get 100, who have yet to pass a non-discrimination ordinance to have LGBT representation, as well as go to ensure that they get this standard. A lot of this work has been done because of the past council, our current mayor, city manager, and we're really excited with this new council, folks like Councilman Duncan, Councilman Maria, and many others who are really wanting to champion this issue so that this work continues on well past any of our time. So I want to thank all the folks who allowed this to happen, folks like Casey Proud, LGBT representation and director roles, staff, as well as our mayor's office, council members, and the city manager. So I don't want to take up too much space. Just know that this means a lot to the community, but there is still urgency when it comes to greater showing up for the community, especially when we face so much legislative violence, specifically our trans brothers and sisters. So I appreciate the city's willingness to sponsor and really be in collaboration and community with folks like Transformations, like trans leaders, to ensure that we're centering and empowering folks who are most impacted. So, this is a moment for us to be proud, for us to sit in this and be thankful, and also thank those who came before, but also understand that the moment requires us to also get back to work. And I think everyone here agrees with that. But, it's always important to celebrate your wins, and I think that's why we're here this morning.